So we're going to be talking Disney with you and having a good time here. So hop on in, ask your questions below because we need questions.
Oh.
We don't have a lot of answers, but we have questions. We'll make them
up. We can make up answers.
Been doing forever. Okay, so
yes, how many years?
13. We're almost 13.
God, that's insane. Holy cow.
We started 2008. It's 2021. Wow. It's nuts.
Oh, that's nuts. Wow.
We have people trickling in. Let us know that you are here. Put in the comments below where you're watching, listening, jumping, swimming, skipping. No, Paige couldn't skip till she was like 13. She's not coordinated enough. It was hilarious. We'd be like, skip, girl. And she couldn't. It was so funny. I used to love that.
That's hysterical.
She kind of galloped, but she couldn't skip. And it'd be all off beat. And she couldn't play the game bingo. You know the song bingo, like B-I-N-G-O? Like she couldn't.
Yes.
B-N-G-O-B. She couldn't do it. Like she couldn't hit the beat. So.
Oh.
Yes. Proud of my dog.
That's special.
She is. And actually, she flew this past weekend. She flew all the way down to Auburn for a basketball game. They got steak dinners in their hotel room on Saturday night. Then the game was canceled Sunday morning because Auburn tested positive for COVID. So they flew
no.
to come back to St. Louis with no game. So she got the job today.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. I don't see any comments. What's up? Anybody else seeing comments? It's just me.
Yeah, I'm seeing them.
Yeah, too.
I'm not. Ooh, why am I not seeing comments? Maybe it'll catch up. Is there any questions in there? I see folks that are here, but I don't see any comments.
Yeah.
Okay, I might just throw to you guys for some questions.
Oh, I mean, I think you know what the most common
question is going to be, Mike.
Oh. All right. I wonder why I don't see the comments. Oh, it's because I'm in the host chat. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. I'm booting everybody that says anything about a Buckeye or a potato. So we're getting out of here. All right. Okay, let's do this. So questions, we have them. We're ready. We need them, though. Ask a good question, not about Magical Express or Magic Hours, and we'll be good. Okay. Now you can ask those if you want. All right. So we're at 1832. I'm going to try to sound all chipper, but it's I've just the migraine and the medicine makes my voice go away. So I'll do what I can. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1832 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. We hope today's show finds you well and you're having a productive week. I mean, it's January, right? We're past the holidays. It is time to get stuff done because there's I almost said there's nothing to look forward to, but there was always something to look forward to. But January is kind of a stinky month, right? There's not a whole lot coming your way. I guess Valentine's Day here shortly. I did notice Pam went to the grocery store this past weekend, and in the pantry, I looked in there and we have Valentine's Day ding dongs. Apparently, okay, so she splurged and got us a sweet treat. Apparently, these ding dongs are wrapped in such a way that you can give them to your sweetheart on Valentine's Day. So I guess they have like the to from kind of little insert or card on it. I don't know. So look at your favorite grocer and nothing says love like a Hostess ding dong for Valentine's Day.
I mean, calling your significant other ding dong may not be the best move for Valentine's Day. I don't know if that would go under the is this romantic category. So
we gotta get ready for that show. It's coming up shortly. I mean, it's only 2 weeks away.
I know, right?
That's right. Good plug there. If you have an is this romantic situation, drop that in, Mike at BeOurGuestPodcast.com. We'll start collecting those. So the smarty pants that knows all about romance, we have Ricky from the mouseforless.com, where there may or may not be some articles this week. What's up, Ricky?
Yeah, just a few possible articles may be on the Mouse for Less this week. I'm just throwing that out there. So, if you miss the news, you might want to head over there.
News? All right, what? There's news now on the Savannah for the Kilimanjaro safaris, right? The animal, the GNU, right?
Yes, the news. Yeah, exactly. The GNUS. Yes.
Yeah, so just drop by themouseforless.com and check out all the details. Also joining us, we have Pam Forrester-Koner, the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, what's going on?
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, that's it.
For the rest of my life, like at some point, will I just be able to say whatever day it really is?
Yes.
No, not as long as we're doing the show because we just do things the hard way.
Okay, all right. So happy Wednesday. Hopefully some of the fervor has died down a little bit from earlier announcements in the week. We'll see what happens. But I will say that it has been really good to be a travel agent again for a while. We are getting a lot of really good requests, a lot of people interested in traveling. So it's nice to see. It really is.
It's good.
It has. It's been a productive start to 2021. I appreciate all my guests for us and supporting us, for all the agents. I know we're busting and working hard, and it's great. So thanks for that. Now, let's go ahead before we get to the first question of the day. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Wait, there's an elephant?
Roll Tide.
I can't deal with an elephant too.
Yeah, exactly.
As of the day we're recording, in about 3 hours, there's going to be a lot of elephant horns squeaking at the football game. Let's hope. So anyway, let's talk about it. So we got this breaking news that now this is not immediate. I've had to talk some of my guests down. I'm like, you're going in 21. There will be a motor coach who will take you to Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
It will be Tragical Express at the end of the trip. You can still use that term for the remainder of 21. We'll worry about this down the line because we haven't, obviously right now we can't book 2022 Walt Disney World packages. So it is not immediately affecting anybody immediately right now. Is that like redundancy? The Department of Redundancy again? Anyway, so Pam, let's talk about it though. So right now, I mean, I would say, and I'll be honest, I know you don't use Magical Express. I love Magical Express because one of the reasons I actually started flying was because I felt I was missing out on a small part of a Disney vacation, but I never have taken Magical Express. I'd always heard about, I'd heard the audio from the video. I wanted to ride the bus. So I finally got on a plane and that was part of my vacation. Pam, I know you rent a car. So what are your thoughts, just hours from the announcement here?
So I know it's something that a lot of guests use. And so for that reason, I think the familiarity change is really hard for everybody. I'm sad for the guests who used it and really enjoyed the service. For the guests who are really, really mad, I think I need some more insight into what in particular they're upset about. Like I want to hear it. I'm not saying that sarcastically or ironically. I actually want to hear. So I'm going to be looking in the chat as I keep talking about this.
Yeah.
There are going to be other options available for guests to take. There will probably be a shuttle option. I bet you that Mears will be looking into providing that. And there will be other, options in that space, I'm sure. There will likely be a number of private transportation companies that we've worked with, a number of which for years, that will be able to step up in this space too. And I love to see the ability of some of these small businesses gain back some of that business that they were struggling with for that portion of time. I think it offers a real opportunity to have a more personalized transportation. Okay, so George says it was the free transportation. I understand it is free. As we look towards maybe looking at different options for many guests, I've taken Uber back and forth from the airport. So I think it hit me at probably like between $30 and $40 each way. So I think it's that loss of perhaps, something that maybe puts us in the ballpark of like $100 in transportation costs. And I realize $100 is $100, but that's what I was trying to get at. Like, what are people mostly upset about?
I have seen, just to kind of throw this out there, I have seen a lot of like families who are upset because if they have small children, like Uber and things like that don't really easily allow for multiple children that need like car seats and stuff like that. I know I've seen that as something that, is an issue. But in those cases, something like a town car or, I'm sure, like you said, Mears will be around in some form or capacity. They will still have motor coaches. I mean, they have them now. So, that will still be an option in the future. I'm just trying to
For
help people understand there will still be options for families as well, that had small children.
And private car transportations have always offered that option as well. Many private car transportations do as well. So there will be something. There's a whole year to figure this out. I guess I feel like Disney's Magical Express was the thing that everyone loved to complain about, right?
Yeah.
About how like it wasn't that great and it took too long and da 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 da. And then now that it's gone, it becomes a thing that everyone really, really likes. But so I think that there will be options there. I think we have about 12 months to figure it out and we'll see what they are. But I get it. I get the frustration. I think sometimes it's hard. Like when an announcement first happens, I think the immediate reaction is to feel whatever it is that's bubbling up right there. But I think as people get a little bit of distance from this and see some of the options that are available, that it will, there will be some things that become more clear.
I think too that, you'll see this typically happens when you have something, especially this is an opportunity for private business to step up and offer something. Again, we are going to have to pay for this, which I think is the biggest beef on this. And this is, I'm with you. Like I'm Mr. Cheapo, right? Scott always rents a car. When I go down and Scott's there at the same time, he always gets a car. He always gets the mystery vehicle. He always, I don't know where he books to, but he's always he's like, I got this killer rate, but it's the mystery vehicle. And it's usually a minivan. But the thing is, like, he does that and that gives him a lot of options on his trip. But I mean, that does cost more money. So it is a decision. I'm a tightwad. I always took Magical Express totally free. And then I, use Disney transportation throughout the entire trip and save some money. But I know that Scott, by renting a car, and I know you got to pay for parking, which is another rub where this all kind of comes over like a year-long cycle. I get it. So if you have a car, you're paying for parking and then but you do have more options. You can get from resort to resort whenever you want immediately, which gives you more flexibility. But I'm a Disney transportation guy. So I don't get me wrong. I'm kind of rubbed on this one, but I mean, I understand too that it's 2021. The world's upside down. I'm sure that they're looking to save money. I mean, not that our vacations aren't expensive. I mean, I'm still torn on this one. So I don't know what to think. I'll be honest. It's something I use. It's something I love and I'm not happy right now, but we'll, again, we have it till the end of the year.
Absolutely, all through 2021. So it doesn't start until next year. And the other thing I wanted to point out was that for Disney, this is an expense of monumental proportion. In terms of not just the contract with Mears, which I'm sure at this point they had to pay a minimum amount, which may or may not be even worth it for the rest of 2021, right? That for Mears to make this kind of financial commitment, I'm sure, if I were an attorney or if I were a business person, I would have had a guaranteed paying amount for this, right? That Disney probably has to pay. In addition, they have to pay the airport for space there and all of that. So I'm looking at, as a business owner right now, I'm trying to be supportive of other businesses that are trying to make measures that make the most sense for their company. And I guess that's a challenge. I mean, we're really like looking at things like that. But I also think that Disney is trying very hard to continue to offer certain benefits to guests. And I think we'll probably continue to see other announcements like that things that will be impactful in a positive way. We've been begging for extra magic hours. Let's talk about that. It has changed a little bit to early park entry. We're at 30 minutes right now. We'll see. There's always the ability for that to increase, but I'm happy to see them come back at any length of time, be it 30 minutes or an hour or whatnot. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works, especially now because we have park hopping back again.
So talk to us about the announcement on because we're hitting Disney's Magical Express. Like I was going to say, who knows, it could come back in 2024. I think, bottom line, I think what happened was, you kind of mentioned it, Pam, is that it was probably time to renew the contract with Mears because Mears operates Disney's Magical Express. I mean, right now, Walt Disney World has, a bunch of resorts closed. Maybe they don't see, the price per passenger was probably double what it was in 2018, 2019 at this point, because the volume's down in travel. And of course, we think that at the end of 2021, 2022, things will pop back open. But I think all businesses right now are being very conservative in spending and committing to long-term investment. So, I say this, I'm not happy about it right now, but I'm not saying that I might not ever ride a Magical Express bus again. Could happen in 24, could happen in 23. Who knows? I mean, I could get that contract going again.
I think that the thing we have to think about is, of course, I know nobody likes to hear this. Disney is a business, like Pam was saying. And, I'm sure that they weighed the cost benefit analysis for this. I mean, they're a huge company that they're so cautious with everything that they do. There's no way they didn't weigh the cost benefit, analysis for this. And for them to take something like this away, essentially, they had to see that there was a reason to do it, and probably definitely monetarily. But that does, the reason why I said that they had to take the cost benefit analysis of this is it also still opens people up for potentially staying off site now, which is, Disney has always been about that bubble. That's the whole thing about why I think a lot of people are also still upset about this, is like, it doesn't encapsulate them in the bubble at the beginning and at the end, like you're having to live the real world still for a little bit longer. And so I'm sure that they took that into consideration for, the guests as well. And, they had to make the smart decision for themselves at this point. And like you said, Mike, it may not be a all the time thing. It may come back in the future, which hopefully maybe it will. But, at this point in time of where we are in the world, it just doesn't make as much financial sense as maybe it did back in 2005 when this got started. By the way, I was one of the first guests technically to ride Magical Express, because my first trip with Brian was May of 2005. So I remember when they were touting this, like when, it was the whole big shebang about Magical Express, like I remember this. So, and it was one of the reasons that we did go down. But, I'm just saying, like, Disney they're going to be smart about this. They're going to think about this over time and see what benefits them in the end. So it just doesn't mean that it's just a now. It doesn't mean that it's for forever, So.
And again, like I said, I think it's just really hard to make a commitment to something like this. Say the contract was due this month, and they're at the beginning of the year, like they had to make a tough decision. I mean, I've had to make a lot of tough decisions financially myself because of the pandemic. Every business has, restaurants around here, all that kind of stuff. So let's just, I know it's not a happy thing, but I mean,
no,
we're not,
of course it's not.
this isn't Candyland times right now. We're just trying to make it through and get to better days. So real quick, I do want to say, one thing to think about too is that Bright Star train.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that's going to Disney Springs, and that wouldn't be ideal under today's circumstances to be rolling into Disney Springs with luggage and all that stuff. But who knows that Disney could have some kind of thing on the board, in the plans that becomes a hub, and then you transfer out to some kind of other bus.
That's
that could be quicker. I mean, who knows? You got to look for, like, when Disney touched Haunted Mansion, touched Pirates, people freaked out. I was one of them at first, kind of like, I was like, oh, dude, don't touch the mansion. You know what? It was better. But Pirates was better. I mean, you guys, I've said this a lot of times over the 12 years we've been doing the show. Like, just trust Disney. I know this isn't perfect right now, but I mean, I don't think they're going to make it so that everybody is now all of a sudden going off site, because they don't want people going off site.
No.
I think they're trying to cut costs. I mean, everybody's trying to tighten the belts right now, but I don't think this is going to destroy Walt Disney World Vacations. Go ahead, Ricky.
And Brightline, so for those who don't know, Brightline is a rail way that's being built right now. Well, it hasn't started, but over at Walt Disney World anyway, but it is currently in the process in other places. And they are proposing a Disney Springs station. The current location is unknown as of right now, but it's going to have a lobby on the ground level, passenger facilities, and an upper level train platform. It's going to take about 2 to 3 years for the work to be completed once they start. But, it's a high speed rail station. So what it means is that it's going to take you from Orlando International super quickly, and that'll take you to Disney Springs, right? So say that is the path that Disney is wanting people to take. I assume then that they will take the Brightline train to Disney Springs. That will be a hub for Disney transportation for guests to take a bus, motor coach, whatever, however they're going to do it, to their resort then from that point. So it is possible that that's how they're going to do it. You know, a lot of other Disney resorts around the world, this is really how they do it. They do have a train that takes guests to their property. I know that's what they did in Paris. You know, there was a train that took us straight to the gates of, you know, Disneyland Paris. So this is not something, the idea of a train taking you to a Disney park, Disney destination is not something that's necessarily new to Disney overall. So I can see why this might appeal to them as well, and maybe a reason behind getting rid of Magical Express in the future too. You know, they'll look at things and see how, again, they're going to see how to morph with this. And I think that that's kind of maybe where they're going with it too.
They have seen.
Well, I was just going to real quick. I'll be so saying, because everybody was screaming for the monorail direct from the airport. I mean, the train is basically the monorail direct from the airport.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Only real fast.
Yeah,
Only real fast. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's even better. Yeah, go ahead.
And it doesn't smell funky.
Well, hopefully, hopefully, I don't know. It'll be a train.
First month. I mean, I'm sure we'll get a little. It probably won't smell like oranges, but go ahead.
I get it. You know, I get what people are saying about, you know, being able to struggle with car seats and stuff like that. I will tell you, I am fairly certain there will be an option for you that does not involve lugging your car seat unless you really want to do that. And I think that you will see other transportation companies step up in this space and help you figure it out. You know, I totally understand wanting to get into the bubble. But I will tell you, the real bubble is either having a town car pick you up or some other allergic, or to have your own rental car.
Who doesn't want to see the sign with their name on it?
Yeah, let me talk about that, because I went down to the event a couple years ago, and the dude was standing in the tux, and he had an iPad that said Mike Rom, and I was like, oh my God, if I die right now, I have made it in life. And I was like, sorry, I took a selfie with you. And he's like, oh, sir. He put the iPad down. I'm like, no. You got to pull
That's what I want.
And I got to selfie this back to my wife, just so she knows that I have made it once in my life. You're not kidding, Pam. I mean, that is the way.
It is true. And I do, when I was asking at the beginning of the show, I honestly was trying to get like, give me the stuff that people are upset about, because I want to make sure that during the meetings that I sit in, that I'm communicating guest wants and needs just as much in that space. I mean, that's how we work on helping Disney think creatively through an issue or through something. But I guarantee you there was a lot of research done in this. Absolutely. And it had to do not only probably with cost cutting measures, but probably also with the percentage of people, even before the pandemic, that were actually using Disney's Magical Express. There's a lot of research out there to support that ride sharing and other things like that have actually taken a much larger number of guests away from using Magical Express. And it's one of those things that I think at the end of the day makes financial sense when it's a bus that's full of people, right. Makes a lot less sense when it's a bus that's not quite as full of people. And then it finally makes even less sense when it's a bus that's not very full of people, and the people that you do have to be socially distanced. So in any way, you know, that's where we are. I think that we'll all find something that maybe we can happily land on during the next 12 months.
I will say, remember we had the AEP, Pam, we were down there. This wasn't the last one you guys did, but the one before, we stayed at Copper Creek. And so it was over Star Wars race weekend, right? And I was like, oh man, I'll be down for that. I'm going to run the race. I signed up at the last minute in my flight, because I'd booked my flights way out and it was a great deal. And there was no other flight to get. It was like a 1:00 flight. I will tell you, that's the first time I ever took an Uber from Wilderness Lodge back to the airport. Dude, I got there in like 45. It was so bad. Usually I'm there, like 3 hours. I pick you up beforehand. I was like an hour out. I'm like, dude, put it to the floor. I mean, we got there. It was $28. I was like, it was the best $28 I ever spent. And then dude, it's like Amazing Race, man. I got to get there. My plane's leaving. I still have my medal on. I was like, dude, this is no joke. We got to get there. Anyway, so real quick, let's talk about the thing that got dropped, you know, yes. Or also, you know, like, and the big and no extra magic hours right now, but we have early park entry. So Pam, give us the details on that. When's it start and how's this all work?
So we don't have a date yet for it starting. It is going to be rolled out, they mentioned, as part of the 50th anniversary thing. And again, we've all been speculating as to when that might start. So we'll hear what that is. But basically, it gives on-site guests, on-site hotel guests, the option to get into the parks and experience some attractions 30 minutes prior to park opening. So I think it'll be interesting, again, to see how Disney handles this. I imagine it will be something like having dedicated lines or turnstiles available only to park guests at that time. We'll figure it out one way or the other. But I kind of like this idea. And the reason why I would imagine it's only 30 minutes instead of an hour is that you'll probably be able to get done in your 30 minutes what you were able to get done in the hour that was extra magic hours in the morning. The attendance still, if you've been watching those apps, the attendance is still down. I believe we're still down at 35% in terms of that. I have not heard that it has increased from that point, but we're looking at ride wait times that are still really low throughout the day. And I think that extra 30 minutes in the morning for those who want to get up and enjoy it will be great. Even for those who aren't early risers, I still see this as a positive because you're getting people in there that were going to be in your way the rest of the day, and they may get done with the park and be out by the time you're in there and around. So I see it as a plus for both people. I think that one of the things that I've heard is that they would have rather have had evening extra magic hours. I get that too, but this is where we're starting. And I'm happy for any progress that we're seeing in this space, whether it be the extra magic hour type thing you envisioned. It may not be, but it is this. I think that Disney should give us talking points before we do some of these. I feel like, we get to play sort of devil's advocate in the opposite way to try to get folks to think about it from another perspective. It's not that we don't, I think, understand or sympathize and empathize with a lot of the frustration or questioning that is going on right now. But like Mike said, I feel like at the end of the day, I am used to trusting Disney in this space because they usually surprise me in a good way. So I'm going to take their word that someone has thought about this and there is a method to the madness, as they say. So looking forward to that.
I'm just glad that we get to go down, right? I mean,
yes.
Right now I'm grateful for what we get. And like you said, these early morning hours, 30 minutes, I will tell you that many times I don't go to the park with extra magic hours in the morning.
Right.
But I will go to the park that had extra magic hours the night before. That used to be my strategy because I figured the people that wanted to be in that park are probably not going to go back to that same park the next morning if they stayed out late in that park. I've always done that. And the thing is even if you're not in there 30 minutes early, if you're in the very front of the crowd, even like if everybody's getting in at the same time. So say you're like in the front of the line to get in the turnstiles, you get so much more done. So that's why I'm saying 30 minutes could be a big deal. I mean, considering we get nothing right now, just to be in the front of the crowd, just to be ahead of the major wave, you're like always ahead of everybody else. Like if you're pushing, say at Magic Kingdom, you get 7 Dwarfs, done. You go over to Space Mountain, you're still in one of the first there. Then like once you get those 2 headliners out of the way, then everybody else is getting in line for those headliners. Then you're looking at stuff like Pirates or, secondary kind of things, Haunted Mansion, stuff like that. So yeah, even 30 minutes. I mean, it sounds like nothing, but it can really kind of get you ahead of the, 1 or 2 steps ahead of everybody else.
Also, how you were talking about, you go to the park that had extra magic hours, the night before or whatever. And a lot of people are saying, well, now how will I know which park to avoid? Because a lot of people would avoid the park that had morning extra magic hours. And kind of the nice thing in a weird way about this, now granted, y'all know I'm not taking advantage of early morning hours, right? Like it's not happening for me. I can't even get to the park at noon. So, and that's when Epcot opens at noon. So like, I can't even make that. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people have been like questioning, okay, well, how will now that I'm going to be behind the 8 ball in a weird way. Well, in a weird way, the only reason you were behind the 8 ball with extra magic hours was because everybody only had that one park to go to. So you were behind everybody else that had decided to get up and go to the extra park or early hours for the park. This time, they're actually going to be spread amongst all 4 parks.
Which
So
is the goal of everything right now. Is to
exactly. It's to spread
That's
everything
why
out.
they're doing this. I mean, you want to, and they even said it in the statement.
They did.
want to spread people out.
They did, absolutely. So, the reason the pressure, I guess, of choosing which park to go to based off of, avoiding the park that had extra magic hours, it's not going to be as important moving forward because you're not going to be behind everybody that's all descending on the same park, because that's what happened with extra magic hours. Everybody went to the same park because that was the only park that was open for this. So I think that will actually help in a weird way by having it at all 4 parks. Really, the only thing that I'm sad about is the loss of the evening, which is the one that I ended up taking advantage of the majority of the time, obviously. But I'm sure, and I hate to say this because it's a paid experience, but they had those Disney After Hours events in the before COVID hit, and look, those were extremely popular. And I can easily see once all of this shakes out, everything kind of calms down a little bit, that they possibly will bring back something like that. Now, again, I know the problem is, of course, that it's a paid event, but I can see them choosing that option instead. They were kind of, in a weird way, already going that route to begin with before all this happened, because they offered so many of those after hours events versus extra magic hours in general. So
and they were so popular. People loved them, and that was really a trend we were seeing in travel for a long time leading up to this. And I imagine, especially because of the number of people that sort of had to delay or cancel trips, we're seeing it kind of again. People are looking for opportunities to spend their money wisely. And those after-hour events, people loved those. People loved having it. I understand that not everyone wanted to do them, and I totally get that. But for the people who were willing to pay for it, they were really thrilled with that. So I often wonder if that is something that will come back, because it's easiest for something like that to come back, because it has a low number of folks that you're pulling lower,
right?
Yes, exactly. During that. So we'll see. I don't know what will happen, but it'll be interesting to see. I think that there's a lot of unknowns that are still out there. I think that Disney still has a lot to offer their on-site guests. Not the least of which is that even though you may have to get your own transportation from the airport to Walt Disney World, once you're on Disney property, you are not driving on the main highways to get into Walt Disney World in the morning. So
true.
Those are rad. So anyways,
all right, we have plenty of time to talk about this. This doesn't take effect until next year, so we have a whole year. And
yes.
Express. I mean, for the hourly park admission, that could happen at any time. And like Pam said, Disney has not officially announced when that is starting. So I just wanted to reiterate that, because I know I've seen a lot of questions of, hey, when is early theme park entry starting? And
when I saw that, I was thinking the fall, because they mentioned the 50th.
I mean, again, you don't want to assume things, but that's kind of where
I know.
Goodness knows, we didn't assume that this would happen, but yeah, that's kind of where I saw it going to. But they could roll it out tomorrow. I mean, heck, they took down walls at Ratatouille this week, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with everything? So
real quick, I got to send a shout out to Justin, or George is watching with Lapu Lapus at the Polynesian.
Nice.
Let's see here. My buddy Preacher Tony is eating at the Wave right now at Contemporary. Katie is checking in at Pop Century right now. So everybody is cool places. I'm sitting here in the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like you're at Epcot.
It does.
Isn't that awesome? This is called the Dr. Kai background, because I know Dr. Kai and Ella love Epcot. So I saw this on Amazon. I was like, dude, for Dr. Kai, I got to sit in front of Spaceship Earth. So
nice.
This is Dr. Kai studio right now. Okay, real quick. We're legally obligated to answer questions.
Yes. It is listener question
or two. Because it's called the question show.
This is the old bait and switch.
I hope we don't get backed into a corner like Disney does on some of these. It'll be like, it was a question show and they didn't even answer any questions. It's money saving once again.
We're tightening the belts. We can't afford to answer questions anymore right now.
That's it.
No more questions for you.
Show's over. That's it.
Okay. You know what? I have a question for Jessica in the live chat, but I'm going to go to this question because it's ironic in the inbox. No kidding. It was 5 days ago, so I got to get to it. It's from Jesse. My family and I had a trip scheduled for May of 20 and, of course, had to reschedule. We have booked for October and are thinking about booking a one-night room and another resort that we've never stayed at. We could possibly be flying. So if we flew in the day before, could we bring what we need for the first day in a carry-on and send our checked bag on to the Polynesian for the next day and just take Magical Express? I had to give that because I mentioned Magical Express. So first of all, right now, this is for 2021, is that Magical Express is not handling the luggage. So you do need to take your luggage, check luggage, carry-on luggage, whatever you have, go down to the carousel, pick up your bags if you check them. Roll them over to the Magical Express check-in.
Which smart people did before, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
The carousel's kind of chaotic and kind of the airport experience. Again, remember, I am somebody who was scared to fly forever. So I still get a huge kick out of being in an airport and all these stuff that everybody complains about. Like, I love it's like magical. I like watching my bag pop out of the thing on the carousel. I know I'm an idiot. Like, right. I love that. Like, I'm like, oh,
so you're not like me who's sitting there stressed going, where's my bag? Where's my bag? Where's my bag? Yeah.
Not at all.
No, not me. I'm like, I pick out my spot where I'm going to stand. And then anyone who tries to encroach on my space, I'm like, oh, come at me, bro. I am like a pro at this.
We'd be fighting because that's what I do. Like, I get a spot that I get anxious because I see it and I'm like, dude, those belted MCO, they're like a mile long. So I'm like, I'm being up around that corner so I can get my bag a little bit sooner. So do I take? Yeah. So we'll fighting. Okay. So that's basically, I just want to make sure that, and she's also asking though about, they're staying at the Polynesian. So they're trying to decide a fun resort to stay at for that first night before their package starts. And so if you're going to be staying at the hotel, again, you're staying at the Polynesian, so that's very deluxe. You're on the monorail. What I might consider is for the day, staying at the Riviera possibly, or like an Epcot Air resort. And I would say Yacht or Beach because you got a great pool. I'd make it a pool day. Pam, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say something on the Skyliner line because then you can ride the Skyliner, but absolutely you're going to want to be looking at a good pool in October, especially because you're going to have lots of good swimming weather in October. Of course, Yacht or Beach Club is the perfect place to enjoy the pool, but there's so many great Disney pools on property. That I think you can't go wrong with any of them. If you're looking to save a little money too, Caribbean Beach is a good option because again, on the Skyliner, fantastic pool, lots of good stuff there. So check out some of those.
All right, Jessica Lindbergh in our live chat. She's listened for years and years. Hello, Jessica. Thanks for being here. We're hoping to cruise on the Fantasy in August. We currently arrive the day before the cruise departs. Pam Forster approved. Should we add another day to relax and play at the pool for a whole day before we cruise? How fast can we all say yes?
Yeah, that's Disney math, my friend. Yes. Disney math always works out. It's one stay plus, another night at the beginning. Oh, wait, should that be 2 nights at the beginning? Yes, that math checks out.
Now we can add park tickets and then we'll add 2 days of park tickets because we're already going. So
right. And then after the cruise, you might want to stay a night or two too. That is my perfect kind of vacation.
We can do Disney math all day long. Maybe let's go.
I talk about this. One of the things I talk to my guests about I'm not kidding. If there's one thing we talk about with my guests, I mean, because I probably talk to 20, 30 guests a day, maybe through email or text or something. And I'm always like, it's Disney math always comes up, right?
Yep.
Like, okay, I was a teacher. I was in education. This checks out. I always told you got to check your work. And, it's like $50 for a whole other day, man. You're going to be there. What's it cost? You're paying $3,000. $50, man. It's another day.
Disney math.
Disney math.
Your flights are going to be free then. It's always the thing like, I have to stay an extra day because my flights are $150 cheaper.
That's right. Yes, I've saved so much money over the years that I'm just traveling for free now.
Right, yeah.
That's it. All right. Lauren's got a question in the live chat. She says, you all have flown to MCO a few times recently. I have a trip booked in February. I'm nervous about the flights. Can you share your best practices for the airports and the flight itself? So Pam, you've flown since all this stuff has gone down a couple times, right? So what are your
Quite a few times. So first, don't be nervous. I know that that's easier said than done, but really and truly, I have felt as safe in the airport and in the plane as I have felt anywhere here in my hometown. And that includes the grocery store and other places that you sort of have to go to essential business wise. So find a mask that you are comfortable with if you haven't done so yet, and wear it for a while. The airport, you're absolutely going to want to bring hand sanitizer with you, but it is there and available. There really isn't much that has changed at the airport, except for some gates actually have indicators as to how busy they are or whatnot. Remember, if you want to be socially distant, you're going to be able to find seating across from the gate where you're at or in a nearby gate. So check out those options as well. Just make sure that you can still hear the announcements. You're going to want to download the app for the airline that you're flying. You might have additional information or a way to get notification about your flights there. That's another thing that you're going to want to do. I have not been taking the snacks and or water that the airline
I love that. It's like a little prize.
No, that the airline has passed out. If you feel like you're going to want a snack, then I would take your own.
I need my pretzels. I need my bites.
So you can do that. Definitely bring water for you. If it makes you feel good, suck on a lozenge that has zinc in it. Zinc actually is effective at stopping the viruses, not any virus in particular, but the viruses as a whole from replicating in your mouth and throat, which is the space that many of those do. So if that makes you feel good, do that. The other thing that I have been doing is in my mask, a little bit of peppermint essential oil to make it smell good and feel a little more refreshing. It just makes it feel like you aren't sort of recirculating your breath over and over and over again in your mask, which is, I know, right, what you're doing. But I like that. I like that smell, something that smells good. And I actually did something similar to that before any of this started, just like on a scarf, because I will just tell you, planes can be a smelly place. And
you got the mask on, all you smell yourself, really.
I know, right? But so think of that. But otherwise, just, you'll feel prepared walking into it. There's not a ton that has changed. Delta is still keeping that middle seat open if you're flying Delta. Otherwise, the most of the other airlines are not, but they've done lots of studies out there that show that the amount of time that the air is completely recirculated on an airplane is some insane amount. So read those if that will make you feel better, and just relax and focus on why you were getting on the plane. And that's so you can go on vacation and enjoy.
Right. When I flew back in December, it was an almost completely full flight on Southwest. I mean, I had a mom and her daughter next to me. I always get window seats. I pay extra for that. I'm the sucker that gets the upgrade because I got to have a window seat and see where I'm going. Not that it matters, but I take a bajillion pictures during the flight, and it was fine. I do wear an N95 mask for my flights. I got it a long time ago before I went in August, and I don't know if it makes a difference, but I mean, this makes me feel a little better. Biggest tip, when you're flying home, Chipotle at the get a burrito bowl, and that'll keep people don't want to be within 6 feet of you. So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Always get a burrito. You're tempting fate a billion times when you get a burrito bowl while you're waiting to get on your flight at the gate. But
yeah, there's so many things that could go wrong. I don't even.
Gosh, so good though, because like when I go to Chipotle here at home, it's like a hassle. It's kind of on the other side of town. You got to go through and tell them everything you want. I mean, you can order on the app, but it doesn't usually work. Like it's at Orlando. What, you got 3 hours to kill? I mean, like Chipotle right there. I mean, it's like, come on now. Are you kidding me? Like I'm jonesing for some Mexican, but if there was a Taco Bell there, no,
these are like a list of things that you should not do. Like, I think that there should be no questionable food choices 24 hours before your flight. This would be my recommendation.
That would probably be a great policy. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. You could probably get a
Unless you love airplane restrooms. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Knock on wood, I've survived not only the virus, but I've survived Chipotle many times on the way home.
I won't say the Chipotle itself is bad. I'm just saying, like,
before a flight, there's probably. I mean, you're just living on the edge there. You know, like Aerosmith.
Yeah.
You're just like,
yeah,
you're right there. All right. Well, hey, we got to get out of here because we
took a weird turn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm just telling you. So I hope that Laura has a great flight. Chipotle, never wrong. Burrito
Oh my gosh.
with carne asada. All right, so we are going to get out here. We'll be back again on Friday. Of course, Thursday. We got the Thursday show coming your way too tomorrow. It's the past Sunday night show. Back in the days before Magical Express was talked about. We didn't think about it. We probably complained about it on that show. Who knows? But we will be back again, like I said, on Friday with a fun, relaxing show to get you ready for a weekend. We're gonna have fun talking Disney. All positive. We're going to try to trigger some great memories for you with this show. So sit tight for that one. Don't forget, today's episode is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out today. I don't know if you heard, we didn't even talk about this. There's discounts out. There's discount palooza right now for Walt Disney World. You want some free tickets? Hey, how about 2 free days? How about some money off your resort stay? All this good. Here's a crazy thing. Right now, for most dates through like September 25th, there's like a discount out there for most resorts, most days. I mean, it is January, folks. September, it's going to be warm. Like, we'll be getting ready to pull out our sweaters again. And those discounts are still in effect. Drop by the Magic for Less. Check out all the specials. One of the great tips over at the Magic for Less, I'm just telling you this, resort guides. They're awesome. Click on the resort guides. Look around. Look at the photos. Look at the room layouts. Look at all the stuff. And then while you're there, fill out the quote form, mention the show, and you and I are going to be planning a great trip together. So check them out and get that trip on the books for 2021. Make it awesome. Take Magical Express still included over at themagicforless.com.
For a limited time only.
Limited time Magical Express. Oh. Anyway, so also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Sure appreciate that. And a shout out to our patrons. Thank you so much. Catch Mike in the Midwest every Thursday over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram, Twitter at beourguestpod, at beourguestmike, and of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook or YouTube so you get a notification every time we go live. Also, join us this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. We'll be opening up the phone lines at our date. You know, we'll open them up. We'll have a discussion. We'll talk Magical Express. We had a lot of comments. We'll take them on the air this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, over on YouTube and Facebook. All right, time to get out of here until we get back together again on Wednesday. For Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. But it's time to get back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Let me save that one. My computer's acting funky. It's mad because I got a new laptop. Come on. I'm not replacing you. You have the big monitors. Episode 1832. Come on, save. It's not saving. What's going on? Oh no. Not responding. That is not good. Oh, here it goes. Don't give me a heart attack. Cool Edit Pro. Do not give me a... Yeah, I even rebooted the computer.
Wow.
Oh, Laura's asked, she says, thanks for the feedback about the flying. Yes, Laura, I don't know what your go-to is at Chipotle, but yes, if you're flying
That's not what she was looking for.
So here's what you have to choose from if you fly Southwest. You got McDonald's.
Yeah.
Chipotle, Jersey Mike's, which I had. That was pretty good. We don't have those in St. Louis, I don't think. Some kind of like salad shop. I don't know what that's all about. I'm not having that.
Not about the salad.
Not really.
No, I'm with you there.
I need to go to that place that Chef Todd goes to all the time. That
yeah,
or something.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Larder,
yeah, it's pretty good. It's
same people that bring you Polite Pig.
Yeah.
Is it really? I didn't know. Oh, dude, I'm still there. But it's only sit down, right? You can't.
Yeah, it's different. It's different food, different kind of food. But
yeah, and I think you do have to sit down in there to eat it. I don't know if they do. Like, they definitely don't do like it's not quick service, but you could maybe do carry out, I'm guessing, but you might as well just sit there and eat it if you're going to wait,
Yeah, so I need to go like directly in there and sit down and like get some work done and eat.
It's good. It's good. I have to admit. So
all right.
I've eaten there before.
Oh man, didn't Chef Todd like catch it on fire one time or something?
Oh yeah.
It was more, I don't know if it was him. Allegedly. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
Chef Todd coming at me. He's a big dude.
He is. And he would come after you. No, I'm just joking.
I don't want to go 12 rounds with him in a ring.
Nope.
Saying. Okay, so here. I got an angle on this one, so here we go.
Oh,
this is so stupid. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's a Jersey Mike's on K by the Pasta House.
Oh.
Who'd have knew in my new neighborhood? There's a Jersey Mike's. I figured it would just be in the East Coast called Jersey Mike's. Okay, I love that Pasta House, by the way. Okay, here we go. 1834.
Oh, Pasta House. I miss you.
So good. There we go. Welcome to episode 1834 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope that your week is wrapping up and it was a good and productive week for you and you're ready for an awesome, relaxing weekend. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to relax. We're going to chill. This week has been a little crazy for a lot of reasons, and we're not going to talk transportation. We're going to talk chilling out and taking it all in on your next Walt Disney World vacation, slowing down and just taking some time to watch the world around you. So get ready for that. So joining me today to talk chilling, maxing, relaxing down in the state of Georgia. You can catch her over on the mouseforless.com all the time. We have Ricky. Ricky, welcome to the weekend. What's up?
Welcome. Where's Uncle Phil when you need him, right?
You think they're going to be a new Fresh Prince? I thought
they did like a reunion show actually, or like a reunion special. I think it was like for HBO Max or something like that. So kind of a cool thing. I didn't get to watch it because I don't have HBO Max, but I was totally like into potentially seeing it if it had been on anything else besides HBO Max. So whoops, but yeah.
So we talked about this on Sunday night's Call-In Live show. My favorite commercial series going right now is the Dr. Rick commercials for Progressive, where he helps you not become your parent once you buy a house, right? Yes. And so, he has that sign, the lady's holding the sign. It says, no cussing, no fussing. And you're just like, no, we don't need that sign. Or, live, laugh, love. No, we don't need a sign to tell us to live, laugh, love. I love those. So there's going to be a Dr. Mike's segment coming your way. Like we talked about this on Sunday night, it premiered. I haven't gotten any suggestions. So if you have a suggestion for a Dr. Mike suggestion for our listeners to not be a basic Disney fan, that's the goal. For example, here's the one I gave on Saturday night or Sunday night during the live show. You ready? You ready? I'm going to lay it out.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. You got a boarding group for Rise of Resistance? No one cares.
Wow.
Just kidding. No, that's funny too, right?
That took a turn. Holy cow.
That's how those commercials rolled. I just thought that was kind of fun. Also, because you mentioned this a long way around for Ricky's intro, but one of the second best commercials right now is the one with Tag Team. And the lady's making she's chopping up like some vegetables and it's dessert. They're making the scoops and then they do the kid.
Yes,
I love that commercial. They do the kid and play. Oh yeah, that's a great commercial. Okay, also joining us, we have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forster. Pam, let's get to it. What's the best commercial on the air right now, in your opinion? You might not even watch I watch football all day, so that's what I see. You might just watch like Netflix. I don't know.
No, I don't watch a ton of TV, I will say, in that space. So I'm not good. I do like the commercials where they're like that you mentioned, where the guy is trying to teach them not to be like their parents, and the guy can't help mentioning that other dude's hair is blue and
don't say anything.
Or that when the one who's giving advice while they're looking like at something in the hardware store, and the guy's like, this one here is going to be whatever. And he's like, did he ask for your advice?
He doesn't care. No. Yeah, exactly. Or when they're like, they're not called programs, they're called TV shows.
Yes, yes.
Grandma used to call it
It's
programs all
true.
the time.
Yes, my grandma did too. Programs, or she would say, we're watching so and so's program right now, and so, anyways, yes,
My grandma,
all good. Or the stories.
yeah,
Yes, the stories.
yeah, the soap operas, right? Yeah, my grandma would be like, I
Yes.
gotta be home and see my programs. Like, what? What are you talking about?
I know, it's true. I love though, like, I think the people who aren't making their commercials funny, it's a missed opportunity. It truly is. Like, I don't want to see like a good informative commercial. I want to see something funny, and some of these are. So
The guy's sitting down. He's like, oh, he sits in instead. The reason they're funny is because it hits home right into my heart.
right.
Right
In
here.
the chair right now. Like, I cannot. There's no way I can silently sit down at this point anymore, ever. You're coming from a mile away. Right.
They ought to film you getting out of Space Mountain.
Yes, right.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous. Okay, so speaking of sitting down, let's get into today's topic. We are going to relax. We're going to chill out. We're going to help you chill out on your next Walt Disney World vacation. So what we're going to do is, I don't remember. Ricky remembers this because we had this conversation, I mean, years ago. Remember when the world was so concerned about the Walt Disney World vacation planning DVDs?
Oh
right?
yes, I
Okay,
have
so-
them.
well,
I still have them, and I love them.
I do too. And we used to play them on Magical Mouse radios. Like when those came on, no kidding. Those were my favorite tracks on the radio station. Like, because I picked the audio off of all of them and I loved them, right? So you had like the Happiest Celebration on Earth. You had, all these different years. You got a new DVD. I'd rip the audio, put on the station. And we talked about this, Ricky, and I think this was your favorite. And it was also one of my favorite. The one year they went around and they had like 4 different stereotypical people, right? They had like a teen kid that wanted to do the e-ticket rides. They had like an older guy. So they had like a girl that wanted to shop or something, some kind of foodie person. But the guy that we always loved,
Dave.
The bench
David
guy,
Dave,
right?
the bench guy.
Like,
Yes.
he wanted to ride all the best benches around property,
He
right?
did. Yes.
That guy was awesome. So
That was fantastic. I
was-
still love that video.
yeah,
Or
we need
DVD.
to find that.
Yeah.
We gotta find that on YouTube. Put a link to it. Anyway, his name was Dave. I didn't know
His name was Dave. Yeah. It was Dave, Aaron, Stacy, and Luke. I know all their names.
Oh my God, there's something wrong with you.
He says to the person who's on it, who started a Disney he started his own Disney podcast, and he says, "I'm the one who's insane." It's fine.
He's also the get in the picture guy, right?
He is. You're in the photo. Get in the photo.
Before selfies were selfies, I think even. So I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm too
Yes.
old.
Yes.
Anyway, again, we take a long way around. We're never at point A to point B on anything, apparently, in 2021. So we are going to talk about the kind of the hidden gem places to just sit down if there's a bench or like a gazebo or some place to just sit down because there's something to watch. It's like good people watching, or it's a hidden shady spot in a normally hot park. It's a great spot in a resort to chill out, where if you want to not be bugged by anybody and you just want to hear the birds, maybe you want to do that. So let's talk about favorite benches in honor of Dave and his squad that Ricky knows all their names.
I do.
It's so weird.
Aaron used to be on a commercial for, I think, Redfin real estate. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, you're total stalker mode right now.
I feel like it right now. Yeah,
With
exactly.
training orders. Anyway, so I'm going to lead us off. This is what I was thinking when I thought about this. So now, of course, Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House is not open for guests at this point to stay. But one of the best places I ever found to stay that I really didn't know existed until I found it was that at Jumbo House, there's this it's almost kind of like a hut. It's almost like a little corner gazebo type thing, but of course it's got that African thatched roof, that theming. And there were just a few rockers out there. And this was on a day where it was thunderstorming, really big in the middle of summer. And you could sit out there on the rockers. You didn't get wet, but it was cooler because the thunderstorm was happening. And you could look out on the resort. The resort's beautiful. And it had the background loop playing in there. Remember that? That's what I'm talking about. That was a good relaxation spot. So when Animal Kingdom Lodge does reopen, you got to hunt around, because there's a lot of little coves and alcoves and little spots to sit at that hotel. But this one spot, it's kind of right off the lobby. It's back on the backside on the lobby there. There's a little gazebo, few rocking chairs. Get out there, take in the world, take 30 minutes, read a book. Don't do anything. Just take it all in. That's my number one pick. All right. So Pam, what do you got? Give us a good bench or a place to chill out.
There are so many good places, especially for people who are really willing to look for them. I'm going to go to the yacht club and the beach club. And I will say that as you walk out their doors, sort of going out towards the lake there, they have sort of rocking chair areas there in that location right outside the doors. And I love that space. And I think one of the things that's so fun to see is, of course, in the morning, you see everyone walking, going out there, getting ready to go to the parks. In the evening or afternoon, you see people coming back to the hotel. But it's just such a great location because you hear the friendship boats. You can look over at the boardwalk and see what's going on there. There's people watching galore, people on their balconies, I think that the people on their balconies is a really interesting almost study, right? Because people sort of take that as part of their room, almost as if it's their private space. And there are things sometimes that go on in the balconies.
That's where you hang your towels, right? If they get wet, you hang off the That's Missouri. It's called the Missouri.
It's so crazy to see what some people do on their balconies or the conversations that they have, or they're yelling to each other. You know, they're out in the balcony, the rest of the family's in the room, so they're yelling to each other about stuff. I mean, it's just fascinating to me. So I like doing that too. And I think that that's a good place just to sort of sit and relax and sort of take it all in. You get to hear the sounds of Disney, but you get to smell Disney. You get to sort of be a part of the action too. So
that's a good one. Ricky, what do you got? Give us, because I'm just setting you up. I'm putting the ball on the tee for you here with the benches. So what do you got?
You are. So it's not a bench, but one of the places that we actually just relaxed at during our recent trip for the holidays was at Nomad Lounge, which is connected to Tiffin's at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And the reason why this was so wonderful is because you can grab a drink, or you can grab like an appetizer or, small plate or something like that, maybe dessert, and you can just watch as, the world goes by you right there. Especially right now, it's a great place to see those flotillas for the characters. So you're going to get if you sit there for like an hour or so, you're going to get like all the flotillas that go past you. So that's a great way to take advantage of that and not have to like search them out. And it's just a nice relaxing spot because you're by the water. You can kind of hear the sounds from Pandora, which is kind of cool too, since you're right there. And it's just, it's super, super relaxing. They have relaxing chairs, they have couches. It's just a great spot because there aren't there's not that many of these kind of spots inside the parks. So it's really nice to like just get away in a spot that's really like this. So I feel like this was just made for, relaxation and just chilling while you're in the park for
It totally is, and it's a great place for groups to get together and hang out because there's you can move the chairs around. They're not like fixed. I mean, they probably don't like you moving them around a ton, but I mean, you can get it together where you can get around a table. Everybody can sit and drink on the table. A few appetizers for everybody. And again, I've been there during a thunderstorm. That is an A1 spot to ride out a thunderstorm in Animal Kingdom.
I am sure, because there's actually not that many A1 spots at Animal Kingdom to ride out thunderstorms. Let's be honest.
That's true.
So.
And then remember Scotty G took the girls over to ride Everest. He went all the way across.
I know, right?
He's the man. I wasn't doing that. I was like, sorry, you're missing out.
The rest of us were like, bye-bye.
I'm working on my leaping lizard. Isn't that what it's called? The drink?
Yeah, there is a leaping
lizard. Hey, how could we not like, that the Nomad Lounge? They have a drink named after us. I mean,
And I think it's weird. It
is green. Yeah,
it
exactly.
looks like our colors too.
It is.
Okay, and real quick before I give my next one, Stephen Boyd, great suggestion here in the live chat on Facebook and YouTube.
He's still my next one. That's totally my next one.
I actually had this one on the radar too because I was just there and I was like, that's a great spot. So if you're walking from either the Riviera to the Caribbean Beach or Caribbean Beach to the Riviera, because doesn't matter which way you're walking, you pass the same things, right? Just either your left or your right. He says, just discovered the cabanas on the beach stretching between the Riv and Caribbean Beach on the north end of the lake. Super relaxing. Yes, because it has white sand, and they're the kind of those little canopy things that you see over the Grand Floridian. Palms, I think, has some. I mean, but this little area is like super secluded. Like it's not right next to the pool. It's a little bit away from the pool. I mean, I would chill out there. That'd be a great place to get a book and watch the sunrise, because you get great sunrises in Florida most times of the year. That'd be awesome. If you're a morning person, I'd totally do that. Okay, my next one. Again, this is killing a bunch of birds with one stone, or just getting a lot of things in at once. It's the patio at Olivia's at Old Key West. And Pam kind of mentioned this. This is one of the things that makes a good place to sit for me. I like to see excitement I just like to see other guests, right? Okay, so here's the thing I don't like to see. Let me just get this off my chest. When it's my last day, I hate to see people arriving. I hate to say that, but like, like when it's your last day, you've been there for like 4 or 5 days, you've had your fun, you're counting down the hour, you're like, oh man, I got to get back to the airport, Magical Express right now. And you're like, oh God, like I have 5 hours left and I'm back home and going back to reality. Then you see all these families rolling in with their carry-ons, and there's, they have on their matching shirts. Dude, their vacation is just starting. You're like, you're happy for them, right? No, you're mad. No, I'm happy for them. But it's like, I always just like, I wish I was that family again. I want to have it at the beginning. So when you sit at Old Key West, not only are you getting great food, they have good drinks, but there's something about that patio out there. It only has probably 5 or 6 tables on a good day, probably less than that right now. There's always a nice breeze going through there. There's ceiling fans, but I mean, literally you are probably 10 feet from the main thoroughfare there for the main building at the resort. So you see people coming back from the theme parks. You see people going out, you see people going to the gift shop, and it's just kind of fun to watch. Everybody's on vacation, so most people are in a great mood. Once in a while I see a kid having a meltdown here and there, but and of course, if you're looking out over the water, if you look in the back where you can catch the boat to Disney Springs, great flowers, all the nautical flags. It's, again, Old Key West is just gorgeous. And I love that, because you are literally sitting, having food right next to like all these people coming and going. And I love that busyness of a Disney vacation. I like seeing what people, I like seeing kids coming back with balloons and souvenirs, and just hearing people talk to each other about the fun they had throughout the day. So that's a good spot. Olivia's patio, good. Not a bench, but it's a chair. I guess you can get a bench out there. All right, Pam, give us another spot to chill.
I like that one. So I'm going to go into the parks, okay? And there are some good spots, some benches, actually. If you take that sort of walkway that connects by the water from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and the Splash Mountain area, and you sort of take that walkway that eventually leads you out there close to Haunted Mansion and Hall of Presidents and Columbia Harbor House there. There are some benches to sit there and sort of look at the water. You can watch the boat go around when it's in operation. Right now, I believe it's down there doing some refurbishment. We've seen the water drained there, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that's a great spot, because once again, you can smell everything, you can hear everything. There's lots of good stuff to do. You see people sort of getting off of that were apparently just off of Splash Mountain because they're soaked. Yeah. You see lots of little kids who rode like Big Thunder for the first time. Yeah, I swear.
Cool. Yeah. You get to see them like, I did it. Yes.
Yes, I know. And it's so fun. And even if it's not their first time, they're just excited that they have done it. Like, that's a coaster that almost the whole family can do. So you love that. And I just like being there. Just somehow being by the water sometimes is so much more relaxing. So
I agree. It's like you need like something to watch. So you need people passing, but water is always a plus. I mean, I think we've mentioned that for almost everyone. Like Old Key West by the water, Nomad Lounge by the water. By the water. And actually, my next one's kind of by the water too. This one's a hidden gem. But Ricky, you're up first, so go ahead.
All right, so I'm not gonna go with one by the water right now, even though I have another one that I totally could go with that's by the water. So, another spot that I've kind of recently found, and I'm trying to pick some spots that are kind of newer, for me anyway, to relax in. And it's a spot that I think a lot of people relax in, which means that it's a little bit harder to get to, or find, a spot for. But it's that area kind of in front of the Plaza restaurant at the Magic Kingdom where all those yellow tables are. You also have the other side, where Casey's is. Now, the reason it's a little bit harder to get to is just because this is usually where everybody goes to, when they have their ice cream or, when they have, their hot dog. But of course, right now, those options are not available to guests. So it's a little easier to get in.
I'm more worried about Casey's and the Plaza not being open the Magical Express, to be honest. I mean,
that's true.
That hits my stomach, and that's more important than me getting to the airport.
100%. Yeah. 100%. But right now, I'm going and grabbing like a Starbucks treat and making my way down there to enjoy the treat, because you are like in the middle. I mean, you're literally in the middle of the Magic Kingdom, and there are people buzzing by you everywhere, and there's so much to see. And of course, you got the beautiful view of the castle right there in front of your face. So like, honestly, I don't think that it can get more magical than that. Once you manage to grab your spot, I don't think you can have a more magical location to be in than right there, with again, my things all seem to revolve around food in a weird way, but yeah, I mean, that's another really great spot to just sit back and relax and enjoy. So
you gotta be prepared on both sides in that spot. One, on the side, other guests, you gotta fend them off, and two, you gotta fend off the birds on the other side. You gotta be like head on a swivel all the time. Like,
yes, exactly. That's true.
Yes. All right, so Jennifer has a good one. She says, anyone just suggested just flying on the Skyliner? That's our usual night event. And you know what, Dave? If Dave was making a video in 2021, bring Dave back. One of his favorite benches would be the bench flying through the Skyliner, right?
Yes.
100%.
That'd totally be his thing. Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, because that is a giant bench that flies through the air. I mean, literally flies through the air.
It's a flying bench with a nice fan, basically. Got the air pushing through. Yeah, very nice. And Alfred says the Magic Kingdom, the benches at the theater in Town Square. Yes. Town Square is some of the best people watching, right? Because you get the excitement of people seeing because they're turning the corner, they're going to see the castle for the very first time. So many people. Then on the opposite side, you see people dog tired at the end of the day. If you're sitting there at the end of the night, people are just like, God, just get me to my bus. Like those buses.
True.
You think, and the thing is, like, veteran travelers like all of us listening to the show today, we know that you're not even close to the bus corrals, depending on what hotel you're staying at. Even when you're walking out the gates, you still got a little bit to walk. Like, rookies are like, oh yeah, as soon as I walk, under that train station, nope, sucker, you got a long way to go. And if you're riding the monorail, you got to climb a mountain to go up that ramp. That ramp at the end of the night is the worst.
Yes.
Truth.
That's Mount Everest, man. After a long day, you're just like, oh Lord, I can't make it. I can't.
Leave me behind. Go ahead without me. I'll just lay here by the water all night. I'll be
exactly.
fine.
It's fine. Just you'll be fine with me laying right here. It's all good. Yes.
I'll just, if you're staying at the palace, I'll chance it. I'll swim. Exactly.
I think I can make it.
Yeah. I'm 6'3" and I want somebody to carry me. Please.
I'm going to try to hitch a ride on the electrical water pouch.
I'm kicking out children in strollers going, get up. Push me.
Okay. Here's another one of my favorite benches. Okay. Now this one is unavailable. I'm very good at the unavailable benches right now, but this one will come back. And this is one of my favorites, honestly. There's a bench at Port Orleans French Quarter. It's right on the running path. It's on the backside of the Doubloon Lagoon pool with the big serpent. And it's right by the boat launches that take you to Disney Springs. And the reason this is a great one to sit at, it's right in the middle of the resort, right? It's centrally located in the resort. It's on the running path. So you get to see joggers, runners going back and forth. That's kind of fun. You get to see people getting on the boats and off the boats. And I love hearing the little, they're not special. They're just little pontoon boats, but I like they have a little horn as they come in, and you can hear the driver, the boat pilots talking to everybody. But also you can kind of look across the Sassagoula River over and watch people playing golf. And I believe that's the Lake Buena Vista golf course across the way there. We played that one, so I should know. Yes, it is. So it's just kind of fun. You get to see people coming and going. You get to see the Sassagoula River, boats going up and down. You got the pool and all those sounds behind you. You get to see some joggers. You get to see some golfers. I mean, really, it's a good spot. And there's actually, if you sit on, there's another bench there's kind of like a little, I don't even know what it's used for because it isn't really for the boat dock, but there's like a little gazebo, but it's rectangular. It's got ceiling fans and a couple benches. I think it's a smoking area, but I mean, I guess you don't have to light up. You can just get under there.
You can just experience it.
Just go like this every once in a while and just that's it. All right. Pam, give us one, maybe a couple more. So give us one more.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm taking us to Saratoga, which is one of the resorts that is, of course, open and available. And I actually, what's funny about Saratoga is that it really is sort of prime location for so many reasons right now, being right there across from Disney Springs, where practically everything is open. Even now, I think it just it opens up so many more eating places for you. But where I'm going to go today is actually on the back side of many of the buildings that sit there right there at Congress Park. This is looking over towards the Disney Springs area. There again are some benches there. Now there is one of the quiet pools is located in that area too, but there are some benches along the walkway there that sort of takes you over to Disney Springs. And this place is perfect in the evening and in the morning or any time of day. But I especially like it in the morning and the evening. In the evening, you sort of start to see, as the sun goes down, all the lights there lighting up Disney Springs. And it's beautiful. In addition, you get to watch those really cool amphicars and hear them with their little distinct little horn, high-pitched sort of horn, and they beep a lot. But just watching all that, you see the little headlights through the water. I love seeing that all through the day and into the evening. You get to see, of course, the balloon going up and down, which is really cool. That whole characters in flight thing. I love that addition. It just gives you such a great vantage point. And there's just a lot. Again, I said this every time, but you can smell a lot of really good things, but you can hear a lot of good things from Disney Springs too. So it's one of our favorite places to go.
I think too there that position at Saratoga Springs might be the place at Walt Disney World on property that you can get the most like wide panoramic view of, you know, something that you see in like promotional videos and stuff, right? Because, you know, at the Magic Kingdom, you really can't get distant enough. Well, I guess you're Polynesian, but then you can't really see, you know, details. You can see the castle and you can see all, you know, I guess the panorama is like seeing the Grand and the Contemporary bookending the Magic Kingdom. But I mean, really, because I've run that path over there at Saratoga right there along the water, and it's gorgeous. And they have the flower beds and the Mickey heads, you know, those are pretty. And it's like you said, it's very panoramic. It's a very Disney view right across the water and water.
It is. It's a huge space, but it's hard to sort of wrap your head around it all until you see it really there from Saratoga. And if you're at Disney Springs, you may want to walk over and just sort of view it from that Saratoga area because it's really cool. You get to see all the way from Rainforest Cafe over here all the way over to Cirque du Soleil, that theater there. So it really encompasses everything that is Disney Springs. And it really is just kind of a cool thing.
And if you go over there, just bring me back a polite pig and we'll be friends.
There we go. And some kind of dessert too.
Yes. An Everglazed donut. I'm all about. I want to get.
Oh, right. Oh my gosh, the Everglazed.
I want
donut.
to try. They have the peanut butter donut with it's the coffee. Like you get the pair together.
Yes.
Yes, I am all in on that. You're giving me coffee and a donut.
And the coconut one is right up my alley. The Mounds one, the coconut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you guys need to be on, or at least listen to the Sunday night shows. I rallied about how in America we have to take stuff and make it crazy. Like it can't be a cheeseburger anymore. It's got to be a Baconator, right? It's got to be a half-pound cheeseburger with 7 pounds of bacon and 17 slices of cheese. You know, like it can't be a cheeseburger.
Yes.
And that's what I mean. The Toothsome started all this, and I'm blaming it on Toothsome in Central Florida. Not to say that I didn't enjoy that big old shake I had when we were down there, Pam, because everybody's like, "Did you finish that?" Absolutely, I did. And my stomach hurt for like a day because it was too much. And I finished it. It's like a cupcake on top of a shake, never meant to be drank or finished or eaten. I don't know what you call it. Like I ate it, I drank it, I did everything. I consumed the sucker. And so, so now you have like Beaches and Cream. Now they're doing, or no, Beaches and Cream
has their own.
Yes, they do.
It says not only do you get a cup of coffee, boom, you get a donut sitting on top of the coffee.
It's not just like a plain cake donut. It's like a donut mounded with stuff on top of it. I mean, like drizzled in chocolate and peanut butter and with peanut butter cups on top. And
yes, but let's be honest. There's not anything that's much better than a donut with actual bacon on it. I mean,
true. A mango bacon donut is amazing. Yeah,
two great things together, my friends. I mean,
two breakfast groups. All right, Ricky, give us another place to sit and chill when your stomach's hurting from that coffee and donut.
So I'm gonna go with a spot that's kind of newer and a little definitely more off the beaten path and air conditioned, because I think that all the spots we've really named have kind of been, for the most part, out in the middle of, the outside. And of course, in Florida, most of the time it's hot. So you're going to want to go in some place that has a little bit of air conditioning and just get away. So before at Epcot, one of my favorite places was, behind, right by where the character spot was. But of course, right now, we're not going to be sitting there. It's kind of under construction, demolished, whatever you want to say. So I have moved over to across from there is the Odyssey. And right now they have the whole Epcot experience. They're showing you what they're going to be doing at Epcot, as they move forward with the progress of everything. And they have some great little tables that guests can, just kind of relax at, sit at, and enjoy, a little bit of time. Again, there are some snacks inside of the Odyssey too. So if you wanted to grab a drink or, some popcorn or something like that to snack on, that's there for you. But it's another spot that's like, it's just out away from where a lot of people are. And the big plus here is the air conditioning, because, we all know that in the middle of a summer in Florida, you need somewhere to get away while you're in the parks in air conditioning. And this is just the perfect spot to just kind of chill, literally, literally chill.
You need some chill in July. I'm telling you that. That's a good comment.
So it may not be the most it may not be the spot that has the best views overall, but at least it's a spot where you can go and sit and relax and just, decompress a little bit if you need to, which is always handy. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So last one I have, this is going to be lightning round. Contemporary resort, but on the backside of here's the thing. I have this idea, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this was true for me forever. I don't think a lot of people have seen the backside of the Contemporary. I think a lot of people might walk over from the Magic Kingdom, go to Chef, or maybe you go to Chef Mickey's, or you do some shopping. I don't know how many people actually go to the backside of the Contemporary and look out over Bay Lake, but it's beautiful back there. And there's some benches, it's shady. And there's actually, and I guess it's still there. I haven't checked it in the last year or so, but that steel, it's like a Mickey kind of steel sculpture. It's a great spot to get a picture with your family. We did this years and years ago. We had, I think, Paige sat in one of the ears, Mallory sat in one of the ears, and Pam and I stood next to the ears. It's a great little spot for like a little family photo. And it's a good bench to sit. I mean, it's not a lot going on, but I mean, it's peaceful. And you can walk right back to the Magic Kingdom. So that's this little quick backside of the Contemporary benches in front of the steel Mickey sculpture. All right, Pam, one more honorable mention or quickie here.
I have to mention, of course, our Wilderness Lodge locations. There are just so many to choose from. There's the big fireplace. There's the fireplace that is up above the lobby there. There's another fireplace that's a few floors above that. Just so many great places to sit at the Wilderness Lodge. And who could not just sit there for a whole afternoon listening to nothing else than the Wilderness Lodge background loop? It's the best one at Disney World. Fight me on this one. It truly, truly is the best resort background loop.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I'll take it. And especially on a cold, chilly day, that's a great spot to go. Even in the summer, though, it's just a good spot to chill. All right, Ricky, wrap it up. What do you got?
So my last one, again, is kind of off the beaten path, especially right now, because nobody's really going back there, and that is over in like Storybook Circus. Besides people going to maybe ride Dumbo or the Barnstormer, not a lot of people are going to enjoy the area that's over by where Pete's Silly Sideshow is or was or whatever you want to say. Since nobody's meeting characters right now, that whole area is pretty well like empty for the most part. So that's another great spot to go back and just relax. And I think right now it may be a relaxation station. So I think it may be one of the spots where you can go and actually take off your mask and things like that. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it might be. So again, it's another just really great spot to just sit. And right now there's like hardly anybody back there in that area. So another good spot to just kind of chill and decompress. Yeah.
And Teresa from down in Murray, Kentucky in our live chat says, don't forget about the baby care stations. They're great for when her girls were little to cool off. Again, air conditioning and just take a break. Get away from it all. Good tip. Always forget about those. Good tip. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. It's time to get on with the weekend. Thank you so much for checking in with us. I don't say it enough, but thank you for listening to our podcast. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for taking the time to spread the word on the social media and to contribute here on our live shows. You guys drop in. We have a good time talking back and forth while we record and getting your feedback as we go. If you'd like to join us, it's usually every Monday around 5:45 Eastern, Facebook and YouTube. If you subscribe to the show over on one of those places, you'll get a little notification when we go live. Just hop in with us. It's kind of fun. We do some stuff before and after the podcast, and then we publish them out for the feed. So thanks everybody who joined us live. Don't forget today's show, as always, brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Great specials out there right now. Just take some time this weekend while you're chilling out on the couch, maybe just taking it easy on your favorite bench in your house, which is called a couch or an easy chair. Drop by the magicforless.com. Look at all the specials. Check out the resort guides. While you're there, fill out the quote form and get that 2021 trip on the books. It just makes looking forward that much better. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Even the small purchases do help. So thank you to everybody who uses that as often as you can. And finally, again, a huge shout out to our patrons, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Grab Mike in the Midwest every Thursday, a little mini podcast for our patrons. Give us a follow on the social media, Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. And of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook and YouTube. Finally, join us this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on Facebook and YouTube. We'll talk about all the news from the week. We're taking your calls. The phone lines will be open. I'm sure we'll be talking about 3 little letters called DME. So we'll talk about it. We'll just, have a conversation. That's what we do every Sunday night. So until we get back together again on Monday, for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
Yay.
All righty. I'm going to get out of here so I can get some Taco Bell and get up to the game.
Awesome. Enjoy your Taco Bell. I mean, whatever.
Getting kind of nervous.
About the game or your Taco Bell?
Both.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I'd never be nervous about the Taco Bell. So
it'll be fine. Last week I didn't get my chili cheese burrito. That was sad.
Oh.
To complain when I go up tonight. Maybe just do me a favor. I don't know.
Probably. If it's a chili cheese burrito, I would say
so good. Those are so good. Okay, I gotta go. I will see you guys later. Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.